Alright boys, welcome back. So Mereleona is now back on Black Divider Mobile. United was summoned for her again. However, she's come out at probably a really bad time, of course, coming alongside Valkyrie Noelle. And I've already got a few comments talking about, should I go for Valkyrie Noelle or Mereleona? Even right now, even if I have Valkyrie Noelle, should I still go and chase out dupes or even try and get Mereleona? And long story short, boys, go for Valkyrie Noelle. She is the big meta shift. She's the character that's going to be dominant meta and also just a fun character to play around with. Where Mereleona, I feel like, is not dead, at least for PvP, but like you're not going to use her too much. And that's mainly because of obviously Valkyrie Noelle's passive, which does say if there is one defender on your team, then you get a bunch of buffs and you get your stuff going on. And of course, she is a defender, so you literally cannot even use Mereleona with Valkyrie Noelle. And unironically, like the mono green team, which was this team right here, you're probably replacing Mereleona now and just using Valkyrie Noelle. Like, that's what I mean by the fact that it's released at a really bad time. But another thing I want to talk about is the investment into Mereleona. Back when she came out, sure, it was worth it because we still had, two festivals before we obviously got towards Valkyrie Noelle. She was the best character at the game at the time. So investing into Mereleona was definitely worth it. Plus, we didn't have the foresight about what was coming. So I definitely don't regret maxing out my Mereleona. But would I do that again? And would I recommend it for a new player? Probably not. As it is right now, like I said, Valkyrie Noelle is just better and more fun to play around with because you're not restricted towards the mono green team, which if you are a new player, if you don't have the Charlotte who hasn't returned yet, then not worth using. If you don't have a maxed out, Spirit Dive, not worth using. Where obviously, of course, Valkyrie Noelle, you can do different things, and once again, new characters coming out will work well with her. And the one character we know is coming out, which if you haven't been following the news a little bit, I know I haven't made a video about it, but Black Divider Asta will be the next festival character coming out next, sometime soon, a little bit on JP, and he already that we do know is going to be an attacker, so we do know he will work well, or at least work alongside, or could be put in the same team as Valkyrie Noelle. Obviously, depending on what the character does, he might say you can't use defenders, who knows, but there's a good chance if it works with Valkyrie Noelle, you're probably not going to use Mereleona, even though he is a dark type, which means he does have type advantage against Valkyrie Noelle, so you will be somewhat counter towards her. You probably use both together anyway. And at that point, we don't know how the character's going to play out. We're lucky right now that Valkyrie Noelle is such an easy character to get and get access to and kind of invest into in comparison towards Mereleona. Like I did say, Mereleona wants to get, needs to be 5-star dupes because you want to get those actual passive burns, which is only what you get when you get towards 5-star. Literally almost unusable at 4-star and below. So you have to get towards 5-star to be usable. And not to mention her skill page. Right now, you probably need to get towards 5-star. Even back when she came out a few months ago now, I realized when I was using them, there's a few times when I didn't have the max skill page, that damage dealt didn't proc, and because it didn't proc, I wasn't able to kill and I lost a few games. So it's yeah, you really want to get Mereleona maxed out, but is it worth it now? Probably not, because like I said, Valkyrie Noelle is a easier, or a better character, but one that requires a lot less investment, right? Like right now, I got one dupe on the skill page. Granted, I got the actual, pay to play skill page I got by summoning. And yeah, that's all I need, because the skill page, when you do level up, it just makes the activation go up, which doesn't even buff up the main ability of what the actual, skill page actually does. So you don't even need to dupe this out for it to be usable. There's also a free skill page which you can get, which obviously I haven't got right now, but once again, it doesn't do the taunt, but it still buffs up the tier 2 skill, which is obviously the most important thing. And while you obviously want to get Valkyrie Noelle towards 5-star because you're going to get way more magic attack and you want to get those actual buffs, of course, you can use that 2-star. Like, you can get away more with using that 1-star than you can Mereleona, because she's kind of a buffer. Of course, if you want to plan to use her for a while and you want it to be the best possible, then you want to get a 5-star. But I feel like you can use her a little bit at any level where, like I said, Mereleona, you just can't. You have to get towards 5-star dupes. So should you go back into this banner or even consider getting a few dupes on the skill page? I'm going to say right now, no. The main reason why is because, one, Valkyrie Noelle dropped super early, right after, obviously, Spirit Dive, and I've seen the comments. I myself a little bit were, kind of broke to where we're probably a little bit struggling right now to try and get gems to get obviously Valkyrie Noelle. And of course, the big one is Black Divider Asta, who's going to be the big meta shift again. And you're better off just saving your resources for him. Now, let's say you just love Mereleona and you want to use her, then obviously I don't blame you. But once again, her team building is very restricted because this is the team you want to use and the kind of the only team you can use. And there's no way to get, no way to get Mimosa, no way to get obviously Charlotte. Just a really restricted character. Now, I would say even if you are Mereleona sim, but then There are some other possible characters coming in the future. Would they be as good? Probably, I would say, if they're going to release a new Mereleona, you like to think they're going to be better. But we are in the Alpha arc right now, so we can see, like, the Royal Now Mereleona, who obviously isn't playable, and we don't know when she's going to come out. If she's either going to be a limited character, maybe she's a buffer, who knows what she's going to do. But there's always that possibility we could get that Mereleona. And, of course, I think by far probably the biggest one, and probably, like, the final Mereleona we will ever get in this game. You know, probably the most OP one, and, like, maybe, like, even, like, the second or third year any character. I know it's far away. But the one from the movie, which is almost the one from the manga. That is the Mereleona I want the most, so I cannot wait for her. Okay, I know it's all speculation, and it might not come out for a while, and you want Mereleona now, and who knows how long it will take to get to that. But just once again, just wanted to bring it up because, yeah, you know, even though she's not great right now, in a way, you want to use better things. There will be a new Mereleona in the future, and it probably will be better. So yeah, boys, that's going to wrap up today's video. Should you be summoning for Mereleona? Definitely not. I think it's by far a better priority to go towards Black Divider Asta, who's coming out relatively soon on JP. And who knows, with how fast Global's trying to catch up, he might even come out next season, or maybe even season 11. So relatively soon, even though I know it's definitely worth summoning for Valkyrie Noelle right now. You know, once you get up, start preparing, start saving for Black Divider Asta. That is the next banner you lot should be saving for, and that's what I'm going to be doing too. But I will say, if you plan to use Mereleona and you want to use her because she's your favorite character, then I don't blame you, because Lord knows if this was Sekre, she could be the worst character in the game. I'm still max duping her. I'm still max duping her skill page because that's what I want to do, and that's kind of where I have fun with the game. So if you do plan to use her, yeah, you have to get towards 5-star, and you really want to get her towards 5-star skill page as well. And like I said already, her best team is the mono green team. But if you don't have the mono green team, then what I think people actually also use is a little bit of a mix of this team right here, where you just kind of taunt like the biggest DPS user as a support character. Go crazy with Black Asta. Okay, I know I spoke a lot about PvP, but what about PvE content? Now, generally speaking, Horde of Illusions, you can use her. I used her a little bit, but like, you can just use Black Asta and be fine and clear through most of it. It's not like you need a Horde of Illusion. PvE farming, I do actually use her because she's got a good AoE skill. Extra turn the ultimate, it's kind of fine just to make things a bit faster, but not definitely worth reason to summon for. And I think when it comes to bosses, we don't have any raid bosses right now, but I do use her in those. Like, if you have her, you're going to use her, but it's not like you need her. Like, if anything, I could just use Julius instead, or maybe another team with, like, you know, Raya or something like that. So, like, I don't think for PvE you need her, at least as it is right now, because there's no PvE content where you have to restrictly bring, you know, burn characters or anything like that. And if anything, when it comes towards green DPSs, you're probably using Spirit Dive Unit instead. So, yeah, I think for PvP, she's now been replaced by Valkyrie Noelle, and for PvE content, you're probably likely using both together with obviously Spirit Dive Unit. But if anything, you can just go crazy and just buff up Spirit Dive Unit, which is what I think I was doing anyway. So yeah, boys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Once again, not a bad thing to summon, but I think with obviously Black Divider Asta being on the horizon and going to be, it's Black Divider Asta. Like, do I need to convince you to say for him? I probably don't. So, go a little bit crazy right now on, obviously, Valkyrie Noelle, get her, and then start saving. We do have some upcoming banners, like, obviously, Grey, which might be an interesting character you might want to use, which, to be fair, can work, I think, a little bit with, obviously, you know, Mereleona a little bit. Then we have Zora, and I didn't address it either, but that little screenshot we got leaked where, like, things are blurred out. We are going to be getting a new seasonal, most likely swimsuit, Yami, and also Charlotte. Going to be looking forward to seeing how those characters come to the game. Finral might finally come out to the game, and I think a third Eye Riot also just got leaked as well. So there's some cool hype characters coming. Mereleona, I love the character, still use a little bit, but she had her time, and it's time to move on. So boys, thank you for watching, and yeah.